All right, well, welcome everybody to our YouTube channel, and today we're going to be talking about Northwest San Antonio living. So you may be curious what Northwest San Antonio has to offer. Maybe you're looking for 3 to 4 bedroom, 2 to 3 bath homes starting in the 300,000s.
With convenient access to major highways, shopping, dining, entertainment, that's just minutes away.
Or maybe even the highly rated Northside ISD school district.
Then you'll want to check out this Meritage Homes series offered in ACADIA Ridge community. Let's check it out.
All right, and by the way, we're the virtual open house guys, and we're the ones that bring you the home tours and our webinars. Why do we do this? Because we know there's a lot of people across the country that find Texas a very, very attractive place to be moving to, and why not San Antonio? So today's September 21st, 2024. And today we're going to be showcasing Meritage Homes. And if you haven't had a chance, please like and subscribe our channel. I'm Julian Jackson, and this is my business partner, Shane Tracy.
And don't forget, Julian, we're also here to make sure that everyone is out there that's looking for a home is able to save money now and down the line.
Absolutely.
We want to make sure that you're getting the best deals possible.
And that's what this is all about. So if you're curious what we do this for, it's to make sure that you're taken care of with the best and most appropriate incentives and programs available. All right, one of the things we want to introduce to everybody today is basically there's a few programs that are being introduced. Obviously, the interest rates are coming down. So with that, a lot of programs are going to be more active again. And one of the ones we like to do for our San Antonio residents and home buyers is introduce these programs to make it easier for San Antonio residents and home buyers to become homeowners. In this case, with as little as 1 monthly rent payment saved in the bank. So if you go into our description, if you want to take that 30-second quiz to see if you qualify, just click that link in the description, fill out that information. It'll take you 30 seconds, maybe a little longer if you're a slow typer like me. But in the end, you'll be able to get that knocked out. And then we can tell you exactly what you qualify for, what areas are best for you, and things of that nature.
I tell you that quiz is worth it, guys. It's really worth it, especially with your end goal of becoming a homeowner in the San Antonio area, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So like, as we mentioned, the overview here, we're going to talk about Meritage Homes. We're going to showcase those first and foremost, so you guys can see exactly what's out there, what's available. Then we're going to go over the San Antonio map for people who are not familiar with San Antonio or not familiar with the area where these homes are. Then we're going to talk about, when you sign with us, what that looks like, the new buyer agency requirements based on the settlement that happened with NAR. And it's been pretty big news, but we want to clear that up for everybody, make sure there's no questions about it. Then there's quite a few free resources for everyone that's attending, and we're going to give you a link for that as well. And then, of course, the incentives, inventory, earnest money, and all that. And as Shane just mentioned to you, we definitely want everyone to take our best fit financing options quiz in the description. All right. Anything you want to add, Shane, before we move on to the inventory and the showcasing these homes?
I'll just remind everyone, you want to like the video, you want to subscribe and share. Let's get the word out. We're so excited to be able to bring this to you so you can see this anywhere you're at, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're talking about, as we often say, you get to look at all this stuff from the comfort of your home. What's better than a virtual open house and webinar? All right, so we're going to jump into the first home, just so everybody kind of sees what this community offers, what these homes look like, and from there, we'll move into the second one, with 2 homes we're going to showcase today.
ACADIA Ridge is a sprawling community on the far west side of San Antonio that is going to bring you a lot of amenities that includes parks, a community pool, and almost 200 acres of interconnected trails. My name is Shane Tracy, broker of Good to Go Realty, and if you are new to our channel, please like the video, subscribe, and click the notifications so you know when we're going to bring you the best quality entertainment when it comes to real estate and making sure that you're educated about the process. Now, if you are already a subscriber, welcome back, and we look forward to bringing you many more great videos for you to really get excited about real estate here in San Antonio. Now, right behind me is the model home. This is a legacy floor plan, which is part of their classic series. This is almost 3,000 square feet, 2-story home, and I can't wait for you to check this out. So let's go ahead and look at what it has to offer on the inside of this gorgeous home. The Legacy floor plan has 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 2-car garage. This beautiful 2-story has 2,991 square feet just for you to enjoy the upstairs game room, the private study, and many more features that you are going to absolutely enjoy. Well, we certainly hope you enjoyed this video, and we have so many more to show you coming up here. No matter what, though, through the whole home buying process, we are here to guide you in making sure you have the right home at the right price, fit your budget, fit your lifestyle, and is on the right side of town for you. That's what makes the difference here at Good to Go Realty. This isn't a one size fits all. We know it's going to be different for whatever your needs are. And we cannot wait to put you in the right home that is meant for you. Take care. Until next time, have a great day.
All right. So if you're not familiar with San Antonio area, this is basically the map of San Antonio. There's two inner loops. One inner loop, one outer loop. We consider that like the 410 loop is here, and then the 1604 loop is here. The side of where these homes are, it's out here in the 211 area. Some consider it the far west side or the northwest. So it just depends on how far west you're going. So typically anything outside of 1604, we're looking at the northwest side. If it's north of 90 and west of 1604, that's kind of the northwest. And then the far west side is kind of like 211 and beyond. And the communities are just growing and growing from there. If you're interested in where the bases are, what bases are close to this side of town, Fort Sam Houston is kind of in the middle of town. Lackland Air Force Base is over here. So a lot of Lackland Joint Base, San Antonio, Lackland Air Force Base, they're in these communities on this side of town, usually within a 20-minute drive. Other than that, we want to kind of cover the other stuff that we go over when we sign with you guys, or when you guys sign with us, and we'll just jump right in that. All right, Shane, take it away.
Well, there's something to be said about having an insight, being in the know when it comes to what homes are available. And I know there's a bunch of you out there that have the right websites and everything, apps and everything ready to go. You're able to search and all of that. The fact of the matter is there are going to be times, and more so than not, I would say here in San Antonio, where there is so much construction going on between these different home builders that they don't have time to put these homes on the MLS, which is how you're able to see it on the different websites like Zillow and Realtor.com and all of that. So
Right.
They're literally building homes and not necessarily advertising to everybody. And so what we are able to do, Julian and I, are to have that constant contact on what's going on the ground at those particular new construction home sites, these new communities, and we're able to find out about the homes that are available that are having the same great incentives, same great prices, but they're not on the market. Actually, if you want to put it that way, they're not on the market, but we
Right.
can still get these homes for our clients. That's just part of what we have to bring to the table for our clients every single day. What do you say about that, Julian?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the whole point. When you sign with us, there's things that you're going to gain by being with us as opposed to other realtors out there. A lot of realtors aren't familiar with some of these options. Matter of fact, we hear a lot of times from our clients that new builds may be more expensive or they're harder to get into. There's a whole lot more money that it costs up front. And it turns out it's exactly the opposite. Typically, the builders are going to incentivize everyone to want to pick up a home with the incentives we're going to cover here later. But in addition to all the things that the builders are offering, if you work with us, we're also going to show you how to find those off-market properties, the pre-market properties, reduced price properties, lower monthly payments. Why? Because a lot of these things have to do with like the buy downs that they can offer. They can cover your closing cost. A lot of them build in rural areas, so they have zero money down programs. And so when you look at that, that's where we look at the low to no closing costs. And then in addition to that, this is where me and Shane are going to, just blow your socks off, because there's things like student loans that can be forgiven. And if you connect with the right people, they actually do this in conjunction with helping you get your mortgage set up. So if you're not working with Shane and myself, you're not going to know about these programs. And then when it comes down to credit issues, I also have a background in loans and a little bit of credit repair. So when you look at it from the standpoint of where do you get the biggest bang for your buck, when you sign with us, that's what's going to happen. Ultimately, we're going to save the buyer thousands of dollars upfront and over time. That's really what we do, and we're the best at doing just that.
I want to add something. I think we continually overlook, Julian, and I was just thinking about this. One of the things that Julian and I have in common, along with a lot of people that live in San Antonio and are looking to move to San Antonio, and the terminology is PCSing to San Antonio, is the fact that we are military veterans. And we know, we have insight on the VA home loan process, and the fact that this is something, if you have VA benefits, you're able to take advantage of over and over and over again. The majority of folks that have VA home loan benefits do not understand what they have, nor have they taken advantage of it. I mean, I don't know about you, Julian, but it's a breath of fresh air to know that 100% of your home can be financed, right?
That's absolutely correct. And I mean, the advantages you have when you work with us, we've talked to builders across the city, across the state, and even across the country, where they just don't know everything there is to know about VA loans. The benefits you have with us, because we don't work with just one lender may turn you down. They'll say, yeah, you're a veteran, we get you qualified for zero down, but we can't help you with that grant. And you're like, well, how would I know, right? Well, because me and Shane have done this for so many years now, we basically gone through and talked with all the lenders that we work with, all the ones that are with these builders, and we know which ones can offer what. And based on, that's what we call it, our best fit financing options for you, because we know based on your scenario, which one of these lenders is going to be able to help you the most. And if you've been turned down by one lender or another lender, or they haven't been giving you the complete up and up, or you just want us to do a second opinion look for you, or find another lender that can do that for you, that's what me and Shane are here for. Our goal is to protect you and your interest. We're not looking out for the lenders. We're not looking out for the builders. We're looking out for you.
Yeah. And I'm Julian, if you'll give me a minute, I'm going to go into the weeds for just a minute. For all of those that have VA home loan benefits, it's imperative that you know how these home loans work. And one of the things that you and most other people aren't even aware of is that the actual requirements for a VA home loan, get ready for this, do not include credit score. Yes, you heard me right. They do not include credit score when it comes to what the true VA home loan requirements are. It is these particular lenders that then will add what's known as overlays or additional requirements, where they will require a 620, 640, whatever credit score on top of whatever the VA requirements are. And did you know that we actually have access to lenders that do not have those overlays?
And that's absolutely correct. And when you understand that, then yeah, that's huge, Shane. And I mean, when people don't realize how much they've been missing out on, maybe they could have been homeowners a lot longer ago. And now here we are. If you've been wondering and guessing, as veterans ourselves, yeah, we want to make sure that we take care of our counterparts, our comrades in arms, and all that good stuff. But the truth is, not every lender is the same. And Shane and I have vetted the ones, and we know, yes, they're the overlays, the things that make their programs different or sometimes harder to qualify for. We know of the ones that aren't, and we know which ones are going to fit you best, especially if you're a veteran. So again, any of those little things that you may or may not know about and you have questions about, the virtual open house guys are your answer.
Absolutely. Every time.
Yeah.
Every
time. Shane touched on something really big here. You know, the buyer agency, what he just described is probably exactly why you guys may have heard about the consumer settlement, because we look out for our clients' best interest. A lot of buyer agents don't feel like knowing loan programs and being able to explain it the way Shane just did. They don't think that's required. We know it is. Why would we ever want to put you in a situation where we didn't give you the best chance to get into a home, and that's been your dream for years? Whereas other realtors are like, well, that's not my thought process. I'm sure if you've ever applied for a home and you worked with a realtor before and you went to the lender that they recommended, the lender shot you down, and you're like, well, I guess that's my only option. Well, me and Shane don't feel that way. If we have someone turn you down in one area, our goal is to make sure that we find someone that can fix that issue, give you a game plan, or we're going to take you to someone that can do something about it right now. Our
right.
whole concept is we don't tell you no, we tell you how. No. And that's the goal. And so when you think about buyer agency, the big difference now is you're going to have to sign a disclosure because it's required before we can even let you tour homes. And with the virtual open house, it allows us to share some helpful information, resources, so you're not trying to navigate this home buying process alone. Our buyers, for us as buyer reps, we're going to negotiate with the seller, whether it's a pre-owned home or a builder, for favorable terms to ensure that you get the lowest monthly payment, come with the least amount of money to closing table, as well as inform you about rebates, student loan forgiveness, rent to own, or even down payment assistance. And guess what? Just like Shane said, the VA loan process, and not just VA, but USDA, conventional, FHA, whatever it takes. If you're an investor, it doesn't really matter. We're going to help you get into the right place and the right mindset. And if it can be done, we have the answer. And if it's a matter of time, we know how to take the time to coach you to get you to where you need to be. So in order to do a test drive, we always call it just a test drive tour with us. You can review the entire home buying process, especially with new builds. That's the easiest way. A lot of times those homes are a lot cleaner. They got nice snacks, nice bathrooms. So, you get to take a look. They always make the place nice. And there's sales reps that can offer a little bit more advice on their particular product. But we're also going to be the, that front line of defense for you, so that if they are trying to get a little bit too pushy, we're standing in for you. But the bottom line is we're going to have to get a written agreement outlining the compensation details, and then we can begin touring the homes with no obligation, other than when you're ready to make the purchase. Anything you want to add, Shane?
And don't forget that test drive tour, leave your checkbook at home, right?
That's right. Yeah. I mean, if you see something you really like, the reason we say leave your checkbook at home, unlike, going on a car lot, they're going to try to get you to write a check before you leave. Hey, we don't have any problem with you sleeping on it. When you're looking at a new build home, whatever home you're looking at is typically the one that's going to have your address on it. That's the one. You take it off the market when you turn in your earnest money. When the market was really going crazy with pre-owned homes, people were putting in multiple offers. And if you didn't make that offer the same day, they might shut off the time limit. But with new builds, you don't really worry about that. And now if we are in a time crunch, we're going to give you a heads up and let you know. But that's only if it's required. A lot of times people think, well, that's just a sales tactic. We can tell you when the market was going crazy back right after COVID, we had people that were like, are you sure the homes are going to go up $5,000 or $6,000 next week just because they're saying they are? We're like, they have been. We're not trying to con you because we don't work for the builders. And lo and behold, a week later, the homes were going up $7,000 at a time, $3,000 to $3,000 a week or something like that. 2 weeks later, they're up $7,000. By the end of the month, they're up $10,000, $15,000. And it only happened for a few months, but that could be the month you're looking at. Our goal is to stay in the know and pass that information on to you.
And your timeline is our timeline, and we want to make that abundantly clear. Your timeline is our timeline, and we want to make sure that you are comfortable knowing that we have your best interest at heart, not somebody else's. That's very important to understand, that we're in your corner, not the builders, not the sellers, in your corner and your corner only. And if we're saying that there is very little time to make a decision, it's for a very good reason. It's for a very good reason because in that particular case, the homes are in very high demand. And before you know it, somebody else is already wanting this home. And I mean, within a matter of hours, that could happen. And it's not to say it's all the time. We just want to make sure that you're aware. If we're saying, we need to move forward now on this, if you're 100% confident and this is your home, then let's do that and know that this is all in your best interest. Otherwise, we are going to make sure that you know that when the time is right, the time is right. Whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, whatever the case may be, we're in your corner, and we want to make sure we're getting you into the right home that fits your budget and it fits your lifestyle. That's
absolutely.
For sure.
And with that, Shane will tell you we've developed what we call our scoring system, the Perfect 10 Home, and that's one of the reasons why we use it. A lot of times we meet renters that are thinking, well, maybe I can't really afford to buy a home. We're like, well, if you're able to get into a rental, there's a lot of times you're going to spend less money up front and overtime monthly if you're able to qualify for one of these new builds. But we don't want people moving into homes unless it's your perfect 10. We'll say maybe if it's a 9.5, maybe. But if it's really a 9.5, it's only because you're thinking about your dream home and not your first home. You're a first-time home buyer. Just remember, your first-time home may be it at that point. That's your perfect 10. Maybe 5 to 10 years down the road, your dream home is a different 10. So it has to be within your time frame, your budget, and your preferred location at this time. You know, what can you afford? What do you like? What is best fit for you right now? But if we see rentals, sometimes they'll be like, oh, this rental, like it's an 8. Oh, it's a 7. It's like, well, if it's a rental and you want to move into a rental, maybe if you get an 8, you should be happy, right? But one of our sales counselors always likes to remind us, like, you're inheriting someone else's problems. And one of the things she used to always bring up was like, if you have little newborn kids, the last thing you want to do is have them like picking someone else's toenails out of the carpet. And you're like, that's just terrible. And so it's like, well, if you have to rent, you got to rent. But if you could get into a brand new home for less than the total move-in cost of a rental, why wouldn't you at least take a look? And if that's the case, we're not looking at 7s and 8s anymore, 8.5. We're looking for 9.5, 10. Matter of fact, most of our clients will say, after showing us this home, it's our 11.
Yep.
It's our 12. And that's what we want to hear when you're like, that's more than what we were looking for. We were hoping for a reach-in closet with a stand-up tub or stand-up shower and a tub. Man, this has a walk-in closet with this, and it's got 3-car garage instead of 2. Like, this is exactly what we wanted. We were okay with a master upstairs, but no, this one actually has a master downstairs. Oh, this is more than we were hoping for compared to what we were looking at with these rentals. And you're saying we can do this for less? That's exactly right. So when we say moving you in with your best interest at heart, that's literally what we're trying to do. We're going to weigh all your options, whether it's renting, new builds, whether it's pre-owned. We're going to look at all those options and let you know right from the very beginning which makes the most sense for you. And that's how Shane and I do business.
Yes. And especially with these interest rates going back down, whether I don't know if you're seeing that in the news and that sort of thing. Boy, oh boy, we're going back to a time where it's actually going to cost you less to buy a new home up front than it would be the upfront cost of getting into somebody else's home and renting. And what are you doing there? You're actually paying somebody else's mortgage, right? Right, Julian?
That's it. Yeah. And that's a perfect time to talk about these free resources. So if you're curious, like, well, how would I know? How would I know if that's the situation for me? Well, we have a lot of resources here for you. So you can take a look. If you have a home to sell, we got a pre-listing and a pre-buyer presentation package where we can basically help you make an informed decision on whether you're selling or buying your home. Or and also the home affordability calculator. You take a look at that. It'll give you an idea of, we don't like to say, well, what's the max you qualify for? Because it could be different for every community. When the tax rates are different, the builders offer different buy down programs. The interest rate, the lower the interest rate, you can have the same monthly payment and afford more home. So if you can afford more home because of the taxes and because of the interest rates, 400,000 in one community doesn't look the same as 400 in another. And based on what you're looking for, that's what we want to think about, because your monthly payment will be the same. And a lot of people don't know that. But again, as realtors, we go the extra mile. We don't make excuses. We make it happen. In addition to that, again, we have the new build test drive voucher. You'll find that in there. There's many video courses to help you learn about the buying and selling process. And there's also, we describe our client appreciation rebate. So when you work with us, we try to offer at least a minimum amount to help you out. Of course, when we work with some of these builders, if they offer us more commission, that allows us to help you out more if needed. If we do a great job negotiating, again, our biggest thing is to make sure that you pay less money up front and over time. But don't forget, this will all be easy for us to locate and help you out by just taking our best fit financing option quiz in the description. And again, don't forget, as Shane mentioned earlier, to share our content with our channel, like and subscribe.
And, I want to say something to add on to what you were just saying about negotiating. The fact of the matter is there are lots and lots of incorrect information going around about the whole process of buying not only a home, but a new home, from it's less expensive if you're not represented to, you can't negotiate, so why do I need you? I want to just make sure that everybody out there knows that there is no additional cost to make sure that you are represented versus going in and looking at buying a home on your own. You're actually in a very, very a better position when you are represented, because we have insight on this whole process with the builder, the financing, all of that. And on top of that, yes, we can actually negotiate on new homes. You'd be quite surprised on what they're offering right now. I'll contact us and we'll go into it further, but I think you'll be quite surprised at what builders are offering right this moment beyond a lower interest rate. It's really something else, but you have to be able to negotiate, and that's what we're here to do. And again, putting you in the best position possible and finding the best fit for you. That's our number one goal, and that in turn helps you save money. I just can't say it enough, Julian. I can't say it enough.
Yeah, and Shane, you were just out at Meritage, and you've talked to the counselors out there, and this was some of the incentives they recommended. And walk us through that. What did you learn about the incentives that they have out at Meritage right now? At least that.
So number one, you see that fixed interest rate. It's not a a staggered a buy down or anything like that. It's a fixed interest rate of 4.99 interest rate plus the 7,500 towards closing costs, or just take the 20,000 closing towards closing costs, buyer rate down in selected homes. But no matter what, these incentives that you're seeing right there are going to get better and better from what we're seeing out there, not just with Meritage, but with other builders too. And there's more to it than this. And let me tell you, you want to make sure that you've got somebody on your side that's already thinking 3, 4, 5 steps ahead before we're walking in that door to that model home, because it can make a big, big difference in your whole level of stress and the whole idea of the unknown and anxiety and everything. We want to lessen all of that for you through our experience, through our contacts, through our knowledge, and through our level of expertise to make sure that you are just going through this as smooth as possible. Again, Julian, there is a big difference between having somebody represent you that knows what they're doing compared to somebody that is like, okay, well, we're really not sure. I'm really not sure what to do when I walk in the model home. That's a lesson in itself.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Shane brings up a good point. And the reason we're able to do this is because of our relationships with the builders all over the city. They respect us. They've seen, hundreds of homes that have our clients' names on it. And so because of that, they're like, all right, obviously you guys are sending us business. And because they know we're looking out for our clients, there's times where we'll get into arguments with them, and maybe it looks like we're having a little fight, but it should be us having the fight with them, not you guys. We want to stand in and make sure that we defend you and your position. But in the end, they know we're fighting for to get you what you deserve, what we know is available. And sometimes they'll say, we maybe shouldn't recommend this or send it up to our management team. But if that's what you guys really want, we'll go ahead and submit that offer for you. You'd be surprised. Yeah. We get what we asked for.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, we get what we asked for a lot of the times. And sometimes they'll come back with something that's a little bit better than what we had originally and maybe not give us 100%. But we know the questions to ask, and they know because we're working with them on a regular basis that it's not actually a fight. It's more of a negotiation. And that's what we're good at. We're going to negotiate in a way that maybe most clients don't know about, but these builders recognize instantly that we're going to double check, triple check. Are you using the right loan program for our client? They're like, oh, I don't know if USDA would work for them. I think it will. Well, what do you mean? I'm pretty sure it'll work. Is there a reason why you can't at least run it and compare the two? Well, see, it depends on whether they have this, or this. We know we know it depends on this or this, but this family happens to have 5 to 8 family members and not 1 to 4. So maybe the income restriction that you're talking about doesn't apply to this family. Oh, I didn't really think about that. Well, we do. We think about those things. So can you ask your lender to go ahead and run the USDA process for us? Well, maybe FHA would be better. Well, no, this person's a veteran, but we heard they had $20,000 to put down. That doesn't mean anything. They can put down money for a VA loan. It doesn't have to be a conventional. It doesn't have to be USDA. Oh, okay. So Shane and I are going to make sure that we're reaching out to the right people, double checking, triple checking, making sure that you're getting exactly what you have earned throughout your lifetime, especially if you're a veteran or you're in a great situation with your credit, you have money to put down. There's better programs for people in these situations. And if you're not in those perfect situations, we have programs for that too.
Yeah, we're not going to leave any stone unturned. We're going to make sure that we've covered everything and looking at what your options are. Believe me, there have been many times where people have thought they don't have options, and with Julian and I, they find that they've got options and they're able to move forward and be in their new home in the next 30 to 45 days. And that's no stretch at all. No stretch.
And as you see that last line on that slide, the quick move-in homes, like we have an entire list of all the homes that are available from pretty much every builder in the city and what incentives they are. Because typically if we're going to get the incentives, it comes on the homes that are ready to move in. So kind of, giving you an idea of what that sounds like. If you're looking at a home to be built because there's dirt, you like the lot, you like the area, you're like, you know what, I have time to get it built up. Okay, so you can do that. But a lot of times they don't offer incentives. This right now they are, because the market is more of a buyer's market. And because it's more of a buyer's market, they're like, you know what, we'll still offer some incentives for these homes that are to be built from the ground up. But the ones that offer the largest incentives are the ones that are completed already, and they don't want that inventory sitting on their lots or on their property without someone owning it for too long. So that's where you'll find out the quick move-in homes are available. And we have those lists for pretty much every community across San Antonio with all the different builders, and especially in the west side or the far west side. So, or northwest side, or whatever area you're looking for on this side of town, we got you covered.
Now, as far as the Meritage Homes, one of the things that, along with the interest rates, gorgeous homes that you see in these videos and online and all of that, they have also got one of the things that they're known for is their insulation. They use spray foam insulation, and that is going to be in the outer walls and the attic, and I think that's pretty much it. But what that does is it really will make sure that they keep your energy costs low. And living here in San Antonio, if you're not familiar, it can get pretty darn hot.
Sure.
So we want to make sure that, we stay cool, because we're not going to be outside all day. And therefore your AC has got to be pumping. But we want to keep those costs down. So Meritage is a definite solution for that. They even go a step further, and they actually have what's known as a HERS rating, which is the Home Energy Rating System. And this is a nationally recognized system for inspecting and calculating a home's energy performance. And they grade it from 0 to 150. And the lower that score is, the more energy efficient it is. And when you go and look at Meritage Homes online, they've actually got a HERS rating for each of their particular floor plans, which is just really astonishing. I'm not familiar with any other builder that actually will publish that, right, Julian?
That's correct. Yeah. They will tell you, and they'll even show you how they insulate homes and make them energy efficient. But again, as everything Shane has mentioned and what we've shared with you throughout, ultimately our goal is to save you thousands of dollars up front and over time. And this is the way, when you talk about new builds, they always some people love to say, well, they're not built like the homes back in the day. Well, let's hope not. Otherwise, you're going to be spending a whole lot of money on electricity and energy and air conditioning, everything that Shane just mentioned. Imagine some of these homes that don't have that energy efficiency, and your electricity bill is $300-400 when when it's an energy efficient home, it's maybe $150.
Right.
So somebody might think that there's a difference in the way the homes are built, but are they really? And in San Antonio, we don't have the weird weather phenomenon that you see in pretty much everywhere across the country. The tornadoes go over past Austin and the Temple area and up north toward Dallas. All the hurricanes and stuff like that are down in the beach areas or over near Houston. But San Antonio, the worst we get is floods. And so as long as you're not in the flood zone, which you have insurance for, or some weird natural catastrophe happens, then typically what you notice with the homes here is maybe the foundation needs to settle, but you have a warranty to cover that too. So you're always going to be taken care of better with the new builds, with a few exceptions. There's times where we know people don't want the new build home, and we understand that. And when you explain to us why you want something that doesn't fit the new build criteria, we're going to find that for you too. We're not going to tell you if your perfect 10 home, your perfect 12 home is a pre-owned home because you need 10 acres and you want to be able to drive your RVs back there and your four-wheelers, and maybe you got a few horses or whatever, who knows. If you need that type of property with that type of land, we know exactly where to find it.
And along with that, the spray foam insulation process that they go through at Meritage Homes, one of the things that I have really found very clear, and it's astonishing to me, but it's very clear to notice, is when you're in one of their homes, it is really quiet. You are not going to hear a lot of the outside noises. And how do I know this? Well, with a lot of these homes, there's still construction going on around this. So that means the big, construction equipment and everything else. And when that door closes, you're probably not even going to hear it, and along with traffic going by or whatever. I don't know what's your experience been with Meritage Homes, Julian?
Oh yeah, without a question. I mean, they're some of the top of the line. I wouldn't necessarily say they're going to compete with your custom builders, but if you're looking for maybe the second home, or maybe you're thinking, hey, I don't need that mansion, then Meritage is definitely going to be the better option for a lot of people because it's kind of that in between home. It's larger than some. It has more features, the energy efficiency. The finish outs are a little bit nicer in some cases. So if you're looking for the home that's in a certain, maybe the middle niche, not first time home buyer type of home, but not necessarily the dream mansion home, then
Right.
Meritage is going to be a perfect fit for you. And all that really just boils down to, no matter what you're looking for, whether it's Meritage or any other home out there, if one doesn't meet your requirements, another one will. Again, we're just showcasing these different homes so that you have a little bit of variety when you come to our channel and you can kind of see what's out there. But trust us, if there's something out there that you like and it's not shown in our showcasing, we can get you a better deal than you're going to get if you go on your own. Absolutely, because we're negotiation experts. We have relationships with these builders, and on top of that, they trust us. That's the thing. They're going to give us info and feedback that they're not going to give other people because they know we're going to take care of them. And we've actually had them tell us that. They've come back and said, we don't necessarily have open houses for most realtors, but because we know you guys aren't going to do some of the shady things that may have brought that lawsuit about or other things like that, we'll let you guys do these things that other people won't. And that's all based on relationships we have. And so you can imagine if they trust us, you can trust us. And if you don't want to trust us right off the bat, let us earn your trust. We'll show you that we do know what we're doing, and we're going to get you taken care of like nobody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Love it. Absolutely love it. This is such a great experience to be able to provide for folks that are out there looking to buy a home. And like we've said before, you don't even have to leave your couch, and we're going to take you on the drive and through the house and everything, and make sure that you know what options you have. And there's so many more homes and builders out there. We're just excited to bring to you in the future. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And that brings us to our conclusion. I mean, I hope you got to see Meritage Home Showcase. We've hopefully shared enough information to give you a nice warm and fuzzy about it, and you've seen enough to kind of see what the product looks like. We talked about the San Antonio map, why signing with us makes a difference, a little bit about the buyer agency requirements and why that's been an issue lately, and we want to make sure we clear that up. And of course, don't forget about all the free resources for being part of our virtual open house here. And of course, we like to add the webinar piece in there because we found that people want to know more about the home buying process. They love looking at homes, but if you could actually get one of these homes that you're looking at because you learned something today that you didn't know before, then we did our jobs. And that includes these incentives, the inventory homes that are available, and even earnest money requirements. What is earnest money for Meritage?
It's going to be a few $1,000s, if I'm not mistaken, and I think it's going to depend on the community also. So, and those can change. So, just contact us, and we'll confirm for what community that you're looking at, and all of that, and make sure that you have concrete information as you do your calculations for sure.
Absolutely. And when the earnest money is paid, it doesn't just go into a black hole. If you go through with that purchase, it'll be applied toward the down payment or your closing costs. So you're not just throwing the money away. And if for any reason you don't get approved for the deal, that earnest money comes back. If something happens, something that, happens in your life, some type of hardship, then there's also going to be ways to get your earnest money back. And I can expect you to follow through if they found out that something happened in your life that won't allow you to continue making payments. So they're not out here trying to rip people off. We won't let that happen anyway. But we are going to keep you aware of what the requirements are so we don't make those kind of mistakes. But again, don't forget about our new San Antonio resident and new home buyer program. Be sure to take that 30-second quiz. And all you got to do is click the quiz link in the description, and we'll take it from there. Anything you want to add, Shane, to close it out?
Hey, I want to make sure that all of you that are looking to become a homeowner, again, if this is your first time, we are here to walk you through this entire process. You're not doing this alone. We promise you that. And between us and our team and everyone involved, we're going to make sure that you are guided and guided properly. For those that are looking for their second, third, or whichever home, I know you've got great experience in your past homes and buying and all of that. Rest assured, we can make sure that we're bringing even more to the table and making sure that you know how what a value add we are in your home buying experience, and in that case, also your home selling experience, because you normally are going to sell a home to buy another home. We are here to make sure that you come first. And I know I've said that multiple times. Hopefully that really drives home how important that is for us to make sure that you're aware of and show you. We will show you, not just talk about it. Right, Julian?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with that, I think Shane said it all. I'm not going to try to beat that, but and the bottom line is that's what we're here for. And as the virtual open house guys, we want to make sure we bring you the best tours and the best webinars, so you guys feel more than comfortable when you work with us. And with that, we'll wrap it up here, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks to share more info.
Have a great weekend, everybody.